So, here goes my next experiment. Frozen yogurt's been in the freezer overnight. I'm glad we put the parchment paper on it. It's really nice and frozen and really cold, but that's what we want. So now, the truth is, look at this. We just peel the parchment paper right off. No icing on it. You know, ice like frozen junk on top. Yeah, there's this is sick. Yeah. I use a towel. Alright, so first thing I want to do, now that you've seen how well that turned out, is I love smoothies. Smoothies are like this great alternative and you can do anything you want with them. So I'm going to try and drill down and do like a really simple, like cool, one of my all-time favorites. So if we were scooping up frozen yogurt or ice cream, you want to have a good ice cream scoop, choke up on it so you're ready. And you do this kind of stuff, right? That's how you get long, rolling kind of. And yogurt is not going to be as creamy, so to speak, as ice cream. That's why I put the bananas in it. And for all I tried, did my best. It's going to be a little more like a sherbet in consistency, but that's fine. So, see, you can work scoops out of it, right? And what I need is about a cup, oh yeah, to die for. What I need is about a cup. So, I'm going to make this smoothie. Let me show you a trick. Knife, dull butter knife, right? Just want to see if we can't split some of it apart. It works. That's why you don't use a glass container, right? Normally I'd have more taken out of here by now, so it'd be easier. And obviously when you get distracted, really don't want to break my knife. Now we're doing that. Never knew you had so much fun in the kitchen, right? I think I put a hole in it. Yeah, put this hole in. Alright. So I know it's going to come out here somehow, because it's softening up on the edges. While I'm doing this, we'll talk about options. We want some frozen fruit, and I wanted about a cup's worth. I'm really thinking that I maintain a lot of creaminess. I really like it. It does have some of the tartness, but that banana just like really kills it. I mean, it's beautiful. All right. Wow. Most excellent. Let me get this out of my way. So, there's so many options you can do. So I thought it'd be really fun today. I got some frozen dark cherries, you know. I found them in the store. They were actually on sale. These are pitted and then frozen. And you really want like about 3/4 of a cup. You know, the problem is they're large. If you were to mush them down, they would end up being like nothing. Then what I want to do is I need some juice. So I want something with a little citrus or citric acid in it. And I just had to homage, you know, to where I grew up. They make this really awesome, that's sold here now in the stores, apple cider. Of course, when I used to buy it as a kid, they didn't process it. So it would ferment really quickly in the garage in the wintertime. But this is cool, there's no added sugar. I mean, this stuff is just really awesome. And this happens to be the Honey Crisp version. So we're going to have a little bit of sweetness to it, which is always good when you're talking about a smoothie type drink. And I'm going to pour half a cup. Might not need all that half a cup, but we just need to get some in there to start the whole process. It's just, it's pretty, I think it's dead on. So we got to get some juicy liquid in there. And I'm going to take my knife before I turn it on. Just make sure it's down on the whipper dealio in there. Got to put the lid on. And let's see what happens. Gonna be loud, but I'm gonna start by, I just really want to kind of pulse it a couple times to make sure everything's gonna mix up. So let's see what happens. The restaurant I worked at, we made a lot of smoothies, and we had a frozen yogurt soft serve dispenser. So it's much easier. It's called High Mountain, High Country frozen yogurt. It's pretty good stuff. Too high. Now I have it exactly where I want it. It's really annoying. So at this point, you could add any kind of little extra things to it. You know, some people like protein powder. That'll help hold it together and maintain some consistency to it. But I want to show you something really fun that I figured out. I don't know, but I'm addicted to caffeine. So, you know, I drink my gallon every morning before I go to work. And at work, I give myself a little boost, a little powdered substance called cocaine. No, it's just kidding. Zip Fizz. Okay, sorry. I do get drug tests at work, so that won't work. But Zip Fizz is really cool. I'm not trying to advertise it for selling, but trust me, a friend of mine got me hooked on it. Get a little vitamin B, get a little caffeine, you know, in your day. But what if we put a little bit in here? Now, this flavor is like a lemon tea thing, so I'm hoping the lemon does something for you. Thinking the tea is going to bring a little flavor out into it too. Plus, we're going to get a little bit of caffeine, and I guarantee you there's some kind of stabilizer in here that might help stabilize this. So all I'm going to do, get this poured in here. That's enough for like a 14-ounce drink with water, like a sports drink. And let's just pulse it around a little bit. Now, look at this beauty. Get this to your kids, you know, after dinner for like a dessert treat, and watch them run around the house. That's it, fizzing that caffeine, and no one will ever suspect. Now, this is like 100 times better than going to the smoothie store and like I said, this is a whole lot healthier, better flavor. Yeah, I like this. I really think the Zip Fizz brought out some really good stuff. Might even help the texture, I don't know. I'll have to experiment. But I'm just telling you that this is a great fun thing. Best with a straw. Look how that straw stands up. Now, why was I thinking about this? Let me tell you why. Because what if you were doing a Sunday brunch, right? Wouldn't that be great? And I just happened to have a couple of quiches I just took out of the oven. Piece of this quiche, this beautiful quiche, I'll link my quiche recipe to this. But doesn't that look beautiful? Little quiche, little smoothie. You're all wound up for the day. It's better than, you know, consuming a lot of wine and then you're like shot for the day. All right, here's something else I want you to try. If you're a fan of quiche, certainly make the quiche recipe too. What the heck? Anyway, I've got other recipes I'm working on. I'll get back to you. See you soon. Howdy everybody. So I thought I'd do something really interesting and fun, because something that I used to love I can never find, and if I can't find it in the store that means I have to make it. But I used to love frozen yogurt. Well, I have my own standard of what frozen yogurt is supposed to be, and it's not really hard to make. It's just a pain in the neck because you have to put it all together and then stick it in the freezer. And really it needs to be in the freezer overnight. So I don't want to add a lot of junk to my frozen yogurt. So what I like to do, because I want to taste the fruit, I'll add fruit to it when I dish it up. So it's whole fruit, or cut up fruit, instead of just like all put through the blender, or in this case food processor. I just find a food processor is going to do a better job I'm going to push my luck and see how much stuff I can fit in this food processor. But anyway, so yesterday I went to the store and I found me about 5, there were actually 6 not huge bananas that were definitely ripe, you know, getting close. Not quite like banana bread turn, but definitely ripe enough to eat. So I sliced them all and put them in the freezer. So they're like one solid chunk. And somehow we're gonna get these in here. Well, this isn't gonna work. Maybe now. Alright. I got bananas everywhere. Alright. That's gonna work. Clean up here a little bit. Grab a towel. I'm back. So, when I mix this, I want to start mixing stuff all together. And so what I want to add, and everyone goes, ooh, yucky pooey. But I want, you gotta have some sugar. You need to bring out the sweetness. And it's really about getting the right consistency when you make this. So I actually have half a cup of sugar. I need about 2 tablespoons of corn syrup, and I know everyone else is going, ooh no, but really, trust me. So I need 1, 2, and I hate measuring this when I don't have to because you never get it off the spoon, right? And this is the fun part. You want honey. Honey is really good. You can put like an endless amount of honey in just to keep the consistency. I want a little more than a 1/4 cup, so I'm saying up to 1/3 of a cup. This is 8 ounces of honey, so you know, you do the math, less than half. And what I love about this, it's orange blossom honey. So we're going to add some good flavor. Yep. Perfect. And at the same time, I want to keep this really basic. Now you can add any kind of flavoring you want. I just want a little vanilla in it because, like I said, this is going to be the base. And it's funny, you're like, why are you making banana frozen yogurt? Banana is really for the texture, not for the flavor. So what I need to toss in here is about a tablespoon of vanilla. Alright, so I just want to start getting this kind of mixed up. So I'm going to just do a couple pulses, okay? Ready? Here we go. got this. There's some that's not all mixed, but we've got enough of it mixed that it's going to work. And so what I have is 2 cups of Greek yogurt. You want to get like the highest fat content possible, because yogurt has a lot of water in it, and it will really get watery wet. That's why you need the banana for consistency. Spatulas are your friend. Just clean this up a little bit. Here we go again. Consistency is really good. I will edit this down because this is way too much. Finally. All right. So, this is what it's going to look like. It's really creamy. It's really good. You don't taste, I don't taste any of the flavoring I put in there. So, the moment of truth. You can't stand the truth. I'm gonna have to scoop some of that out because I'm afraid it's below the level of the hole in the middle. So let's see if I can't do this. Is that not beautiful? Ooh. I always want to take the blade out. Very sharp. Stay away from the edge. It's really nice. So Note to self, somehow I need to take out the bananas a little sooner. Didn't realize what a pain they were going to be. But the end result is going to be really awesome. Okay. So we got it all nice and smoothed up. I wish I could describe that for you. There's all this like texture, almost like just mouthfeel and taste coming through, but you can't really put your finger on it. But you get the tartness of the yogurt, you get the sweetness of everything else, and when we freeze this, the banana is going to make all the difference. So what I did, cut a piece of parchment paper. Let's see if I can't just set this right on top. We don't want to get ice crystals all over it. Seal it up. So this is going to go in the freezer overnight for sure. And then we're going to see what it looks and tastes like. I'll be back in another video to show you what else we can do with this. Have a great day. See you soon.